Hey all you, I'm back. So quick thing. I got a couple messages that are just cracking my shit up. I'll be real. One, I gotta be quick. Yes, you've seen some random posts on my personal page. I'm starting. I don't even like to say this because one, if I bomb this, it's really gonna suck to admit it to you all that I'm bombing this. But I am back to studying. And no, I'm not changing my career. I love my career. I'm staying. I will always have my salon as long as I can. But with past health issues and a verdict that I was told by my doctor that I had to make some changes. So I have, and since making these changes, I've completely fell in love with health. And I'm sure you've noticed by most of my posts, I've loved it. Well, the other thing I absolutely love is children. And anyone who knows me knows, don't get me wrong, my boys stress me out. Raising children is hard. Raising 3 sons is hard. Yes, I'm sure you've all noticed through here, I'm a single mom. But yet I hate to say that because some people use that as like a crutch. I'm fortunate. I co-parent, or we co-parent. Ryan and I co-parent our boys like rock stars, I believe, and I will pat myself on the back for that because there's days I'm sure it's not easy for both of us, but we co-parent. So yes, I live in our own home and I'm a single mom when the boys are with me, but they have access to their dads at all times. I talk to their dad at all times. So I'm not playing that crutch. I'm a single mom, but I'm not. Their dad is very much involved and we're 50-50 across the board. So that's not a crutch. What I'm saying is raising children are hard. Children are so incredibly special. I love kids. Physically, I do not want any more kids. That's hard. But I love children. And the one thing I found out with health, and Laura Huka and I chat a lot about everything from our life and career paths, and we're very driven and focused, and we all get hit with hiccups, and her and I are pretty much like, F it. And then we're also like, this is us. Like, a lot of people don't like tattoos, love tattoos. I'm covered in them. They're art. I didn't get them for anybody else but myself. Well, that's not true. I got most of them for my children. But anyway, long story short is I'm getting ready to bust down on some studies because I'm making a added career choice. I'm not changing anything about the salon, but I'm studying group and personal training fitness and getting certified in training, along with specializing in nutrition and health and getting a specialist certificate in youth fitness. The reason I say that is because when I tried, and I'm sure a lot of you saw my posts, tried to find programs for youth fitness, there is very few. And yes, yoga is great, and I like yoga, and my boys will do it with me a little bit, but it's just not their jam. And they are in a great program, an AI program through CrossFit. They've only done it a few times, but it's great. Hands down great. My boys love it. I see their dedication. It's great. But I realize there's very little youth fitness out there. And I was talking to, I think it was Laura, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I was talking to her about there's got to be more for these kids to turn around, to have a healthier lifestyle, to learn the correct way of doing these things, to have programs for them that aren't necessarily quote unquote sport, but health and fitness and learning the correct way and that sort of thing. And that drove me because my boys are really into it and there's not a whole lot available to them. So here I go. I'm gonna take it on. And so her and I were talking, she's like, yep, you got it. Her approach was you got to go after the parents and changing their lifestyle. And I 100% agree. Like, it's our responsibility to live a healthy lifestyle for our kids. My approach, I look at it a little bit differently because as I was growing up, my parents are great, wonderful parents. I grew up with lots of split families that I'm fortunate to be close with all of them. And There was nothing wrong with my lifestyle. Now, did I do that diet on, diet off, grapefruit diet I remember is good, walk, run, fitness, not fitness, and sometimes because of my disease, I couldn't do everything because either the physical or the pain level was just more than I would admit to people. And so I lived a great childhood, but I would never, ever in a million years tell you I was physically fit. And my parents are great. They're very active. They're farmers. Like, in my mind, holy buckets. Like, those people are beasts. But, you know, all through my ages up until, 6 months to a year ago, 2 years ago is when the surgery started because of some complications coming about. A year ago is when it was like smack in the face. And about 6 to 8 months ago was a huge reality check. And my reality check was when a doctor looks at you and says, if you want to be here to raise your children, you have to change your lifestyle. Now, at the time, 4 years ago, I was obese. I was huge. 4 to 5 years ago, I was ginormous. If you ever want to see a picture, because I've had a lot of people say, Brandy, I've known you for a long time, you never were. Well, I think a lot of you are blind to friendship because I have pictures. I've sent them to 2 of my friends have seen 4 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and what I am today. I was obese. I was very large. I'm 5'2", doesn't take much. But anyway, when the doctor says that, and it wasn't because I was obese, it wasn't because of that, it was because in my disease, muscle is stronger than bone. And so I have to get physically strong or up my strength in order to hold me where I'm at. And so I had to change my regimen and where I'm going. And then with other issues, I've realized that I can't have gluten and I can't have dairy. And now they're down to saying very little sugar. Do you know that doesn't leave much? But anyway, so I'm not gonna ramble, which I am, too much. But in other words, that my reality check right there was when the doctor says, do you wanna be here to raise your kids? Well, bleep, yeah, duh. So my motivation that changed my whole life around, my whole daily routine, to someone who didn't like to get up in the morning, to that alarm goes off between 3:30 and 4 every morning, and I'm on when I get a sleep in, it's like laying in bed at 6 o'clock being like, come on, sleep in. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple days that it's been nice to be like 7 or 9, but they're very few and far between, and that doesn't count what time I went to bed, okay? So it took my children to motivate me to make a huge life change. I'm like, just think about that. If you are a parent and you tell your child, hey, you need to drink 3 more glasses of water before the end of the day, my kids would look at me and be like, haha, you're funny, Mom. Like, I'm gonna sneak some orange juice, I'm gonna sneak some apple juice, or no, I don't want any. I hate water too. But if their coach says, hey, before you boys go to bed, I need you to make sure you have this many glasses of water in your system, guess what my boys are gonna do? The same thing I would say, but their coach said it. If their coach says, hey, before you grab that brownie, I wanna make sure you eat an apple. Before you grab this, I wanna make sure you eat this. They'll do it. Well, guess what? If our kids start doing that and they get the mentality to live a healthier and better diet and life and fitness life, if our kids do that, we're not gonna be prone to eat that junk because we're not gonna buy it. We're gonna be spending our money on the healthy stuff and not need to waste the money on the junk or have the money to spend on the junk. So it's not gonna be there. So we're gonna follow our kids' habit because we parents do things for their children, you know? Some people think it's nuts. My boys get protein shakes. Some people think I'm absolutely crazy. They don't eat a lot of meat. They don't eat eggs. They don't get a lot of protein other than peanut butter for the most part. And so yeah, they get protein shakes. But I'm just saying, my kids motivate me, and I think children motivate their parents, and we could turn this around in the opposite way we're thinking. And there's not a whole lot. There's out there. I'm not saying that it's not out there. There's just not a whole lot out there. And so it drove me to help people more like me, not knowing what's going on or wanting, you know, figuring it out, and to focus on kids. So that's that. And if for some reason I'm looking at this, if Rich or Tiffany are on this, look at this video and they make fun of my jacket, I'm cold, all right? I'm cold. I'll talk to you later.